Welcome to the Ecliptic Spiritualist channel. We are getting right into our topic for today, which is Mercury in retrograde. 3 tips to blast through the reboot, the last retrograde of 2019 in Scorpio, which is deep waters. All right, so let's get right into the topic, in which we've all been anticipating, on some good information, some tips, and how to ride this next 3 weeks or 21 days out. Now, Mercury is now in its shadow phase and in the process of going into retrograde on the 31st of 2019 of October. But this is the last retrograde in Mercury for 2019. Yay! I am glad. I am glad it is not Venus in retrograde. Around this season last year in 2018, we were in Venus of retrograde, and it really did a lot of damages in relationship area. But this year we are in our last retrograde of Mercury of this year. Usually it's 3 to 4 Mercury retrogrades per year. So we will be starting our altar candle, our altar ALTAR, our altar unity community service candle service starting on the 31st going into November the 1st. So get right on it and join us. The candles is $11.99 for your intentions to set with this Mercury. Now, let's see, to offset some areas that tends to a plague us during out the retrograde. Now, I do have this in full detail per zodiac sign on the blog at eclipticspiritualist7@blogspot.com. So it goes into full detail of your particular zodiac sign and what areas that will be challenged for you. All right. Also, too, it's going to give you a little bit more clarity about your natal chart and what areas. So, the natal chart information, because you get more in detail, that's a whole nother conversation. So we'll have to talk about that at another time. Comment if you'd like for me to go into what the houses are in your natal chart, because we do offer natal chart readings. So getting right back to it, we'll be offering candle services. And it will be a lifesaver in some areas that Mercury retrograde likes to challenge us is in our areas of time, energy, money, and frustration, and lots of it. In my opinion, everybody have their opinion about Mercury retrograde. I like to get on top of it because it affects people. If it's affecting you and it affects me, it affects everybody around you. Okay, just as Mercury appears to start to going backwards, your conscious everyday thinking, your thinking in your mind can also take an about face and shift backwards as well. Okay, so your thoughts can become a little cloudy. Some of the signs is there. Some of the signals are time cease to stand still, or you feel in limbo, or time speeds up and it seems to be less of it. So you've got this shifting back and forth, because Mercury is the planet of communication. Okay, so Mercury's area of influence is communication, organizations, perception, learning, and health. So those are some big major areas in our lives, correct? Very big major areas of influence: communication, organization, perception, learning, and health. So this is imperative to us, right? Those are areas that affect us on our daily lives for 21 plus days. So during the duration of Mercury in retrograde from August the 31st through November the 20th, we have 21 days in it. Okay, so let me give you some tidbits. There's a lot that goes on with Mercury retrograde, so that's why it's going to be important to look at the blog and see how much detail I've put into the blog of this sector of Mercury retrograde, the last one of the year. Okay, but here's a few tips that will help us. All right, one, do the candle visual with us as a unit, in unity, so that we can work through this fuzziness. And I work with certain oils and essential oils that represent you, so to bring about a calming in some areas. Okay, here's one of the tips. Now, you may become obsessive You may become obsessive over detail, going over and over the same thing, and seem worrying. It seem giving you like a sense of worry. So just learn that. Just do your best during this next 3 weeks. Your best is good enough. Okay. So when you feel like you're obsessive, just realize, do your best, and the best is enough. Because as you doing that, having that same challenge, other people are having the same challenges too. Number two, that's number one, do your best, because you're going to feel like you're obsessing. Number two, when in doubt, think positive. All right. So old issues may arouse around you, stuff you haven't even thought about. Trust me, now that you're more alert about Mercury retrograde, you're like, I didn't realize that it affected me. Yes, it affects. So you may get some fuzziness, old thinking patterns that come into play. So the best thing to do working through the next 3 weeks, 21 days, is to think positive. Get out and do things with people that make you feel upbeat and more alive. So that's your second tip. Get outdoors. Get out with people that make you feel alive, that make you feel upbeat, because you might start getting into a lot of doubt, old issues in your mindset. And, your partners or people you deal with in work and different relationships, they will start reversing back too, because it brings about the cloudiness. So you got to get in the mix and get around people that make you feel good, upbeat, and alive. Our third tip is you will feel that the issue that will come about is that you'll feel more reflective, okay? And you'll be tempted to hold on to old behaviors, even though you know that what you need, okay? You know what you need, but you'll be tempted to act out in old behaviors that you haven't even acted out in years. And let's just say, bring up an issue of smoking for some reason. Somebody may even feel like, ooh, I feel like smoking. I'm using that as an example, okay? Just move forward out of that, okay? Because that you'll start reflecting back on old habits. So you have to move out of that. So what you want to do when feeling them temptations of old behaviors, regroup and make plans for future goals to switch your thoughts. So once those old patterns or old behaviors try to come about, that means you catch that thought and shut it down. Say, I have control over that thought. Write it down and switch to a new goal, a new mindset. Switch to the positive of that negative. So those are 3 tips that will be very beneficial to you during this Mercury retrograde. Along with doing our candle visual work with us, you go on and place your orders and put your intent in it. Write down what your intentions are for this Mercury retrograde. These are 3 quick tips that will help you about obsessing. Just do your best. Your best is good enough. The second one is, when in doubt, think positive. Get around upbeat people during the next 20 to 21 days. Also, too, you may feel reflective, and you may be tempted to revert back to old behaviors. That means catch that old behavior, thought, and pattern, shut it down, and think of a new thought, a new pattern to do to offset that old pattern. And remember what you've done to alleviate that old pattern that's been in your life. Also, as a side note, as I'm suggesting to you to go through the blog to look and see what each zodiac sign is saying, I always, one of my suggestions with Mercury retrograde, family, spirit tribe here, and welcome new subscribers and those that see this for the first time. I always recommend, this is my recommendation, everybody have their own thoughts, but my experience with Mercury retrograde, I personally do not like to start new projects in Mercury retrograde. Like brand new projects, like something major that I haven't attempted yet. I like to do something that I'm attempting brand new before Mercury retrograde. It doesn't have anything to do with conjure work or spell work such as that, but something major like I'm trying to do. I like to not do that during this time of communication because things get misconstrued. So if there's any new projects, a major project that you're doing, try to get it already an attempt by the 31st. So if it's just writing it down or making a phone call in the situation or texting or emailing in a new project that you're doing, go on and do it now, because that means it already be in progress. And then while it's starting to build during Mercury retrograde, it's already in the works, versus trying to put a whole new project in Mercury retrograde while you seeing this going this way and you trying to go this way. It's like you're going against the grain, in my opinion, in that arena. That's just been my experience. Also, too, be mindful of your technical services, like your phone or your computer, your emails. It tends to get a little wonky during this time. So also to track anything that you've did as far as bill payments, your vehicles that deal with a lot of technical services in it. You know, a lot of our vehicles are very computerized. I suggest to make sure that you go on and sage those things. Keep them cleansed, the aura around them cleansed as well. Be mindful to track. If you do bill payment during this retrograde, make sure you're getting the confirmation numbers for them. Because lots of times when Mercury hits technology really hard, and it's tend to lose all of your confirmations and stuff like that during the super highway load here. It usually gets it mixed up, okay? So I love you for watching today. I hope these tips are very successful and helpful for you during Mercury retrograde of Scorpio in 2019, the last retrograde of 2019. The last time, a nice astrological tidbit, the last time we had Mercury in retrograde in Scorpio was in 2014. So that's been about 5 years ago. So now we've entered this cycle again, all right? So you may even remember what was going on in 2014 if you note and journal a lot, all right? So click that wiggly bell down below, ding dong ding, to make sure you're getting the daily fresh tarot card reading that comes to you on a daily basis. Don't forget that we offer intuitive readings that will change your life, which is intuitive and psychic readings. I am a medium and clairvoyant. It's very beautiful readings. They're fun, they're enlightening, and so much more transform in those readings. They are beautiful and very helpful to us, okay? As well, I offer conjure work that will change your life, spiritual counseling, reading diagnostic consultations, cleansings, and so much more. All right. So I love you for watching today. Have a wonderful Mercury in retrograde in Scorpio. Take these 3 tidbits, take them and apply them. Join our altar community candle service that will help. I will be working on those candles and putting the proper oils that I use in my elixirs during this time of Mercury retrograde. I do offer elixir. However, I just wasn't prepared to bring that to this ending of the retrograde for 2019. So the next one we have, I will have it ready for sale. But I learned this formula that helps very well, this particular elixir, but I will be putting some of the products, using it on the candles to help each one of us, because those candles are what our souls, our intentions, okay? So I love you for watching. Have a great and magical rest of the Mercury retrograde. Take advantage of it. Listen to the video over and over again. Like, share, and subscribe. And share it with someone else so they'll know. And don't be in the dark about how important Mercury retrograde plays a very vital, important part in our lives, okay? I will see you next time. Namaste.